Hi everyone, welcome back and welcome to day 13 of Nat's Yoga Challenge. Today I'm going to be talking you through and showing you a pose that I just absolutely love. It's called Malasana. It's sometimes garland pose it gets called. I just like to call it Hindi squat, it's just easier to remember. So you are going to be coming into a squat position. And I want you to not have any expectations of this pose. It's something that I've seen over the years a lot of people struggle with, when actually it's quite a restorative pose, and once you get there hopefully you will feel the benefits of it. So you would come from standing and you would take your feet about as wide as your mat. So you want your feet turned out to the side, and if you just take a little bend over like this, it's probably a little bit easier. Now obviously if you're super tall, your feet are going to have to be a little bit wider, but I would say about as wide as your mat, maybe just as wide as your shoulders, feet turned out to the side. And what we're going to do is come into the squat with your toes, with your knees tracking over your toes. So I don't want the knees coming forward as they would if you were squatting at the gym. This is almost as if you're trying to get the knees to come outwards towards the little baby toe. So I just want you to come into that squat position. Just come into it and see how it feels. Once you get there, you might need to adjust your feet a little bit. And there's just a few key points to try and hit with this. What I see quite often is, especially in women, if you are quite flexible, is that you allow your knees to roll in. So this is going to allow your knees to roll in. You can see that my foot starts to lift. It's not really going to do you any favours in terms of your posture and your alignment. So I want you to keep thinking about pressing down through all of your toes. So spread the toes as you could with your fingers and place them down. And here actually there's a really subtle core kind of injection here. Your core is working, it's engaged. And what you'll find if you engage your core, that you'll stop doing this. You stop kind of rounding into the spine. Also, I don't want you to kind of slump down into your squat. That's not what it's about. It's easy to come in here and just sit for a lot of people. Whereas actually you're tracking the knees outwards, you're grounding down into the feet. And it's almost like you're going to use the elbows to keep pressing the knees outwards a little bit. So it's not a really strong push. Ideally what I want to happen is that you can get your hands in towards your heart. So just to show you from a different angle. Now for me, I love this pose. I can get in here quite comfortably and sit and talk and do all the things that I need to do. But for a lot of people, they will come into this pose and it just feels awkward and tight. And really the reason for that is that you might have tight hamstrings, you might have tight Achilles, your knees, your thighs. Your body is actually designed to sit in this position quite comfortably. You'll see babies doing it all the time. And you probably did it when you were a baby as well. And what that means is that over time, through growing up, going to school, sitting at desks, sitting in cars, as we untrain our body into doing things that it is really quite capable of doing. And that's what I love about yoga, is it's getting back to the way that your body is designed to be. So if you come into this position, for example, and you take your feet in your starting position, you start to squat down and you find that your heels start to pop up. That's really, really common. Again, it just means that your Achilles is a little bit tight. This is really common in women actually, because we like to wear high heels, which shortens the length of your Achilles. So if this happens and your heels lift, it's going to be quite tricky for you to be here. You know, there's a little bit more balance involved. It's very easy to kind of lose your balance. So what I would get you guys to do is just take your mat or a book or a yoga block or a towel or anything that you can find that's going to support your ankles wherever they lie. Because if you are trying to squeeze them down and you've spent years and years shortening this Achilles and shortening all of your muscles and things by just daily life, you're going to hurt yourself and you're not going to enjoy the position very much. It's about getting somewhere where you can be relatively comfortable. For a few breaths, I would maybe try and take 10 deep breaths in this every single day. And if you were to do that over a course of maybe 2 weeks, you'll start to definitely feel the difference. So once you are into your squat position, there's a couple of different things that you could do to give yourself a little bit of a test. So if you're comfortable in here, your knees are engaged, they're not flopping inwards, and you think to yourself, oh, I could quite happily sit here, you could start to take the hands forward and inhale as you watch your thumbs come all the way up. And exhale as your hands come by the heart again and back down to the floor. So I like to do that sometimes. Inhale and exhale. Or there's a really nice opportunity to take a twist in here as well. So keeping that engagement with the arms, you would take one fingertip down onto the floor and then engage to come into a nice twist. Now back to center, inhale and exhale. Now what this squat is going to do for you is it's going to strengthen all of these joints and muscles simultaneously. It even starts to open up the shoulders as well. So there's definitely lots of going on, lots and lots of benefits for this. As you know, I'm a mum of 3, and when my kids were younger, they often struggle with constipation and things like that, as most kids do at some point in their lives. This is a really, really great pose for that, because what you do when you come into this position is you allow all of your internal organs to relax. So if you do have problems with your kids or maybe with yourself in that area, maybe you're not getting to go as often as you would like to go, coming into Hindi squat and breathing is a really, really good way to get everything moving again. It's also a position that I will take if I've done a long haul flight, not in the airport or on the plane or anything, but when I get to my hotel, I like to try and get my body clock moving again and make sure that I am realigning everything, and Hindi squat just does that for me. It's almost like hitting the reset button. So good luck with it, play around a little bit, let me know how you get on, and have a fabulous day.